Hey everyone, hope you all had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me today on August 7th. And as always, we are not financial advisors, and everything you see on here is for educational purposes only. All right, let's get started with BTC. And for right now, we're kind of just going sideways, which is not to our surprise, right? We pretty much knew this would happen, especially over the weekend. Every weekend's been just kind of like boring sideways, little spikes, push back down. And it's exactly what we expected, kind of sideways. Now, we do have, a spike that we would show again. It would show that we would push all the way back up to the support area, which is around 30,000. And then we'll start to make our nice little move again. We talked about maybe around mid October, if it's like the 14th. Actually, yeah, pretty much. On the somewhere around like the 13th, 14th, we could start to descend back down. But in the meantime, we could push up a little bit and then start to descend back down and then slowly start making our way back down. Hit our target of 26. When we look at the dollar pushed up nicely today, which is kind of what I guess dropped Bitcoin because it pushed up and then it dropped back down. I still think the dollar is going to push down a little bit more before it comes back. I think it'll come back down again and to retest this trend line a little bit better, or kind of just go sideways before it goes up to the 103. But I do see it going back up to the 103. Now that I think about it, there is a little gap right here. Let me just move this. It's a small little gap here. So I can see it push back up to there too. So it might still push up a little bit. We might just go sideways instead of pushing down. We'll see how that one plays out. But that'll play an important role over here. Again, we can either go something like this, take out the magnet, or we'll actually push back up and then come down, go sideways and then downward. Or we might just go sideways and then downward. So that's kind of like things that I see playing out. As far as Shiba, we talked about how it hit a strong reversal fib at like 1049. And if we were to close here, we would drop back down. And we closed there, drop back down. I talked about how we would go to this support area if we broke out of this. We went up to the support area. We actually, the body of it closed on that support area. We did poke through a little bit, but came back down. So that was a nice little hit there. As far as everything else, though, it's kind of just going sideways. We're just kind of, I think everybody's just kind of waiting on BTC. It's not a bad time to DCA a little bit of money into the market, but I'm still going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait at least until the August 14th just to see if, we have this big old drop. We usually, when it comes to the pattern, everything usually plays out until like the very end and at the 50%. So we'll at least have this drop go sideways, and then from there have to figure out, well, if this will play out. A big clue that it will play out is the fact that we still have our second arrow target at 26,255. So that's a really good clue of us actually playing out this pattern. It does have like a nice little downward trend, which would kind of hit like this. Every time it's a downward trend, it usually tries to spike upward. There are times where it spikes downward though, like downward trend and then it spiked. This is kind of like the little pattern that we're seeing right now. So we did this here, that's this there, and now we're doing this. We'll come back down. This one spiked up. Yeah, see, this one had like a downward trend and it completely dumped. So it's gonna be interesting in the next, week or so. But until then, it's gonna be boring, just sideways kind of movement. And again, we might have some little spike upward, and it might get people a little excited. Oh, we're back at 30K, and then it comes back down. It's kind of like here, right? We pumped all the way back up. It was exciting, but then it came right back down to the same levels. So right now, we're just gonna still keep waiting. We have our date, we have our target. For now, we just have to wait out what's gonna happen. Oh, XRP came down to the bottom channel or trend line, which is about 60 cents. So that's another nice little hit there. We figured, hey, we break below this, we're dropping back down to that. And that's a nice little 11% drop. Now, what's important here is that we need to stay above this. If we to get below this, it's going to dump all the way back down to like 46 cents. And it would suck if XRP gives it all back, because that would be like such a weak sign. Now, keep in mind, this right here, this drop here, was on the first or second. And I've been noticing that if you go back and look at every first, second, or third, that's when XRP releases their 1 billion coins from their bag, right? And then they sell it to the people. And that's actually, the more I've been seeing that, the more it's kind of annoying, because they're always dumping it. But again, that's how they have to support their projects, right? Especially in a bear market like that. But it kind of sucks. Like, I hope they don't just sell it all right away and cause a big old dump. Like, they should slowly sell it off. HBAR had a nice little pump yesterday. It did bounce off of this, so there's a good chance we can head up to the top to 65 or 0.65. But it's all, yeah, especially if Bitcoin goes sideways, XRP. HBAR has a nice chance to go to the top channel and then come back down. Kind of just keep going, continue the pattern. But this is one of those patterns where it breaks to the downside, where it goes up, down, up, down, up, and then it breaks to the down. Which is cool. I'm okay with HBAR, staying down, staying low, because again, I want a bunch of it still. I'm probably going to double my HBAR now. I have my HODL bag of the size that I wanted. I'm probably going to double it just because, the staking rewards are going to drop. So I want a little bit more staking rewards out of that. Other than that, that's pretty much it for today. Again, we're just kind of patiently waiting just because we know what Bitcoin's going to do. So we're not surprised that for the last couple days or 2 weeks, we've been going sideways. So, all right. So I'll see everybody in the Discord. Anything interesting happens, I'll be sure to post there. All right. Have a good day, everyone. Now, if you're trying to get more information on the market, if you want to stay up to date with the market, or just looking for a good community, in the description below, I did post my link to my website, which is tindicator.com. In here, you can find a link to Ko-fi or Patreon, which will give you access to the premium side of this channel and group. So I have 2 levels. I have that really stand out. I have the Peace of Mind and I have the Edge. And the reason that I named these names is because it's kind of what you get out of it, right? On the Peace of Mind, you do get peace of mind when it comes to the market. You're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be shocked with what's going on. Just the other day, I sent out an alert on a Signal talking about, hey, the market looks like it's going to dump. Somebody triggered something that kind of lets me know, hey, there's going to be a big drop. And, 15 minutes later, big old drop happened. And then the same thing happened back over here. So nobody in the room's oh, surprise, oh, we dropped back down, right? And this is why I call it peace of mind, because you do get that peace of mind out of it. Then I have the Edge tier, which the reason I call it Edge, because you get the edge on the market, right? You're not just going to be blindly going into the market and not knowing what's going to happen. And I'm going to go over these tiers right now. So with the, sorry, I almost said Edge, but with the Peace of Mind, you get access to the crypto room here. Edge also includes this, but you just get a little more. So you get, access to market updates. We have our general chat. We have our crypto chat where everybody talks about what's going on. We have daily play. This is where I post all of my stuff. So my stuff won't get buried in, a chat room where no one can see it. For the Edge tier, you actually get access to the Zoom scheduler. So you can actually schedule one-on-one Zooms with me so we can go over your portfolio, certain coins you're interested in and you just weren't sure about it. Some people have had issues with their wallets. I help them recover that. I've had people who just want to vent. Sometimes we just talk about certain things and, it helps them calm with the market, so they're not too upset with what's going on. Maybe they got into a meme coin that's down 95% or anything like that. So it's really cool, and a lot of my members love this. We also have the newsroom where we post newsworthy information. Planned orders is where you can see what people are buying or selling. We have our group Zooms every now and then. Hidden Gems room where people post unique coins that are just coming out. Passive income room for staking and all that stuff. We have a marketplace where people are buying and selling from each other. Tips and links in here, so there's a lot of links for good cool YouTube videos that you can watch about stop losses, technical analysis. In here's where I always put the newest Signal link, and the Signal link is one thing I recommend for everybody, because this is where I'll send you emergency alerts. If I see the market's about to dump, I will send a message here that's separate from all your other messaging apps, so that way because a lot of people like to keep everything else muted because sometimes people are posting too much, and this is the one that you can leave on, and this will let you know like, hey, this is emergency, like, hey, we're about to pump, we're about to dump, or hey, something big is gonna happen. Then we have charts where you can actually see what people are requesting. If you're on the edge tier, you're allowed to actually request. If you are on the peace of mind, you can only view what other people are requesting. But here you can actually request all the coins you want to see. So I post them here, corresponding to the alphabet. And some of these will be like this. Someone talked about 1. Well, now you know that 1 has to drop back down to 0.013. So if you were looking to buy this coin, I would suggest waiting until it drops to that price before getting in. Because you don't want to get in and it's going to drop back down to this price. And now you would have wished you held off. So you get that advantage, you get that edge right off the market, because now you know when to get in and when not to get in. Another one that we were talking about, and I actually need to do a separate video on this because I didn't add it to the main video, but down here I mentioned, hey, so a member actually showed us this coin, and down here I mentioned, hey, you know what, this thing's about to take off. And it did take off. Once we were up here to this area, I was like, hey, you know what, this could probably be the top. And I drew this area here where we can drop back down to, and look, we barely missed it before it came back up. Now I'm going to update them on this shortly. And then down here we have, a place for woo-woo in case you're into conspiracy stuff or anything like that. We have a astrology room. We have a spiritual room. And then we have 2 other rooms right here. These are our little kept secrets. We won't go into it too much. We also have a free trading room. So if you know anybody that actually is into trading, also the link is in the description below. If you're on the edge tier, you actually get an additional room where it gives you additional coins instead of just the free ones. But yep, that kind of breaks down my 2 levels of the premium. So again, if you want to stay up to date, I suggest joining us. We have a really good community. Everybody helps everybody out here. Nobody FOMOs, nobody's upset, nobody is shocked by what's going on with the market. I've had members even tell me, like, sometimes it's kind of boring because we already know what's going to happen, right? There's not that like feeling of like not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, right? It's like, oh, what's going to happen? Is it going to go up? It's going to go down? We kind of already know what's going to go, like, right? And if we know we're going to drop and it goes up, we know it's going to come right back down. So if you made it this long, thank you for staying this long, and maybe I hope to see you in the room. All right, bye.